Hello, in this video, I want to attend to a question that somebody sent to me via inbox. And the question the person asked is the difference between the two words that we have on the board, and those words are literal and literary. I am certain that there are so many people out there who do not know that these words are different, or rather, people who hear this and think that they are hearing this, or people who would be hearing this one and think that this is what they're hearing. There are two words, and we have to know. There is something like literal, and we have something like literary. These two words are adjectives. And how do you know what they mean? Now, whenever you come across this particular one, literal, as in the one ending with the letter L, what does this mean? When you say that something is literal, it simply entails that that particular thing is exactly the way it is stated. It has no other meaning attached to, as in, it has no other meaning attached to what you are saying there. That is to say that whichever way you see the words presented, that is just what it means, just as stated and nothing else attached. But whenever you talk about this one, literary, in this situation, you are taking it to the dimension of literature. And you know, in literature, when you say that something is stated literally, it means that that particular thing might be communicating other meanings other than what you are seeing in the physical context. Now, this talks about something being exactly as it is stated, while this one refers to something being relating to literature. Now, let me illustrate. Take a look at the sentence that you have on the board. Let us call this 1 and call this 2. Actually, this is not, okay, this is a sentence. Let's say you come across something like this. From the garden, pluck a beautiful flower. Can you imagine that you are talking to a child, that you're talking to maybe somebody in JS1, and you tell this person from the garden, that is if the place where there is a garden, you tell the person from the garden, pluck a beautiful flower. This word, flower, what do you think that child will take it to be? Now, this flower talks about the flower that everybody knows. It is an ornamental plant meant for beautification, right? Now, when you mention this, what comes to that child's mind is flower, the normal flower that everybody knows. Now, this flower here is the literal flower, just as it is stated, nothing else. The flower that you know is what we are talking about here. So, the flower here is literal. Take a look at the second sentence. Imagine that you hear a girl saying, I lost my flower. The same flower. Now, are they talking about the same thing? No. If you make this sentence before a child, that child will not understand what you're trying to say. Because this flower here has left that flower that you know. It is now talking about something else. The flower here is literary. This is the difference between the two. And when you talk about the situation where you have double L and Y and this, these are just the adverbial forms. These ones are on top of it. These ones are adjectival and these ones are adverbial, but they are talking about the same thing. I believe that is understood. Okay, now the same thing happens when you hear about the word temporal and temporary. So many people do not know that these words are not the same. You hear this one and you think you're talking about this. Whenever you talk about temporary, the first thing that comes to your mind, like I would know, is a situation where something does not last. That this particular thing would only be lasting for a short while. That is for this one, temporary. But in a situation you're talking about temporal, the one ending with letter L, you are no longer talking about something not lasting. Temporal, in this situation, you're talking about something related to time. Just like in literature, you have something about temporal setting, that is the time of an action in a play. Now, you have to know when these words, when any of these words is used for you to understand what a particular person is saying at a particular time. Thank you so much.